Please listen carefully.
Hi all, my name is Danny. This is my YouTube channel. It's called Danny Boy Talks. This is my third video, so if you haven't checked out the first two, please go check them out. Today, we're going to be talking about taking testosterone, and I'm going to talk about expectations as opposed to what the reality is in terms of what to expect and when to expect it. I started taking testosterone in April of 2020, and I started with gel packs. What they are is 2 packs. They're 25 milligrams each, and you just rub them on each of your upper arms every day. November of 2021, I switched to intramuscular injections, and I've been taking those ever since. So let's get right into it. So the first thing that people expect and what is noticed is voice dropping. For myself, it didn't happen until about 8 to 12 months into this. The charts generally say that it should happen sooner, but for me, that's when it happened. Yeah. And the next one is body fat redistribution. You need to be aware that your appetite increases exponentially, or it can't. The reason that's related to how your body changes is because if you're not mindful about how much your appetite increases and consequently how much you eat, obviously it's going to change your body. And that happened for me because I was not mindful of how much I was eating. I was just like Homer Simpson, eating like crazy.
Can't talk, eating.
And I gained 30 pounds, and I gained most of that in my stomach. Not all of it. Obviously it goes everywhere, but I had dad bod stomach. So that was a bit of a shock. The increased appetite is definitely something to be aware of because it's really strong, like you're really hungry. So I just wanted to point that out. Just as a kind of an add-on though, just in terms of muscle, body redistribution, eating, all of that stuff, I do think that it's just important as well to point out testosterone is not a magical pill. Muscle development and redistribution of stuff in your body is going to happen, but it needs help. So if you really want muscle development, you're going to have to work out. Like that's just the reality of it. It doesn't just magically happen because you're taking testosterone. I kind of had this idea that it would. I mean, I was working out, but I wasn't like really working out, and I just thought, oh, because I'm taking testosterone, it's just gonna happen, and it just doesn't work like that. So just so you know, if you are serious about wanting to get muscle development, you're going to have to do the work.
Oh, come on!
Okay? Another change that you might want to be aware of is that your testosterone increases your libido exponentially, like a lot. You will find that your sex drive, it takes up a lot of mind space all of a sudden, and it's something you're going to have to manage as you see fit. Okay, so that's pretty much all I need to say about that. Yeah, so we'll go on.
I am never doing that again. You don't think I can?
No chance.
Care to make it interesting?
You're on. Wait a second. Count me in on this. Get it? Yeah. I'm out.
Okay, so that's pretty much all I need to say about that. Now, the next one is facial and body hair growth. Right off the bat, you're going to experience body hair growth quickly in certain parts of your body, that you probably don't expect, i.e. your ass and your nose. It's a little shocking, especially if you don't know that that's going to happen, which I did not, and a lot of trans men that I've talked to through Facebook groups and stuff were surprised by that as well. Yeah, and so just generally speaking, it's probably a good idea. I mean, this is all very personal and it's just a suggestion. You might want to up your manscaping game. Invest in some various different kinds of clippers, learn how to use them, because the growth really does get a bit wild. A lot of us experience the facial hair part of it a lot slower than we would want or expect. I think when we go into this, we all expect to have really fantastic, luxurious beards, within I don't know, within a year. And
Oh my word.
the reality is it's more likely to look really spotty and, you know, not so luxurious. For me, it took 2.5 to 3 years to really start growing a beard, and like even, you know, my mustache is very, very light, and for it to start darkening. And what coincided with that, just as an aside, is that my endocrinologist recommended, because he could see that I had facial hair, but it was so light you couldn't see it. So he recommended that I try Rogaine, which I did. Coinciding with the starting of taking Rogaine, my beard started to show up much darker and thicker, and just what you're seeing now. I cannot say for sure that that was the Rogaine, or if it was just a coincidence and the time frame, just they happen to work together. I can't say, but I continue to take Rogaine just because it seemed to really help. I know that that's probably not something everybody wants to do, but I'm just throwing it out there. The other thing that I learned with regards to facial hair, and this was probably the best tip that I ever got, because I was so frustrated and had so much anxiety around not being able to grow facial hair, or at least nothing to write home about. My endocrinologist pointed out that it's genetics. That's what determines how quickly or slowly you are going to grow facial hair. So if you grew up with brothers, if you have biological brothers, if you can remember how their experience was with growing facial hair, that's probably pretty similar to what you're going to experience. The brother closest to me in age, his experience, from what I can remember of growing facial hair, like 100% tracks with mine. He started growing facial hair probably around 15, 16, but it really was spotty and, you know, like light and kind of like what mine was until probably 20, 21, 22. It tracks exactly with where I'm at in the time frame. So once I was told that, it really, really alleviated the anxiety for me. So that's a good little trick. The other extra that I just want to point out, because this was also a bit of a surprise, and it was for a lot of people, is that immediately when you start taking testosterone, your pee and your sweat the smell changes, and it's a lot stronger. So that's just also something to keep in mind. Just finally, if you are not on testosterone but are wanting to, or if you are on testosterone, have a doctor, but you're not really happy with your doctor, I'm going to leave a list in the description of agencies here in Toronto where you can access possibly getting a doctor, getting on testosterone, getting support of various different kinds, getting help with the paperwork that's involved with top surgery. Just these agencies are really good, and they will offer you a lot of help. Like, you can't do anything. You can't transition here in Ontario. I don't think you can anywhere without a doctor. You need a doctor to transition here in Ontario, here in Canada. If you don't have a doctor, or if you're not happy with the doctor you have for whatever reason, please refer to this list, and you can explore getting a different doctor through these agencies. Now, the thing I will just say though is, throughout this whole process, transitioning, get your head around that everything takes time. You're going to be on waiting lists. Like, you will call these agencies, but you're going to be on a waiting list. So the sooner you call, the sooner you get on the waiting list. So yeah, and you can get on a few waiting lists. Like, it doesn't hurt to get on a few. Call a few, and whoever comes through, that's awesome. Those are the highlights of taking testosterone and what to expect. I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section. I would really appreciate that. If you can, please like and subscribe. That is very helpful to me, and I will see you in my next video. Okay, thanks for checking in. Hey all, I was just having a chat with my cat before she fell asleep. Her name's Lily, and she was really worried. She was like, how's everybody gonna remember to like and subscribe to your videos on YouTube? I said, well, maybe we should do a little video to remind them. So that's what this is. But Lily fell asleep, so you're just gonna have to take my word on that.